Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined over Zoom by Ashton H20 Sylve. Ashton, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Just over a week out now. Big step up fight. First of all, how's camp been and how you feeling so close to the fight?
Camp's been great. Different, but awesome.
In what way has it been different?
New family member.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we go into this fight, it's obviously your first step up, first 10 rounder that's going to be kind of on the path to these huge fights. Talk to me through the process mentally. How are you kind of preparing for this fight?
Mentally, I'm strong above. Like, yeah, mentally, I'm there. Physically, I think we took time off from because I was going to fight on the J card December 15th, I think it was, but we took time off to recover. So physically, I'm feeling great too.
You've done so much in such a short amount
Yeah.
of time for such a young man. Is it important to kind of take those breaks, kind of take a step back and make sure you're fighting fit and always ready to be at your best?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I don't want to go in a fight because I know every fighter is going in there with a little bit of injuries, of course, but I want to make sure I have as much of recovery I can to feel as best as I can, of my ability.
You said about potentially being on the Jake undercard, but it's no secret with the backing of Jake and with all the hype around you. Do you feel that pressure? And more importantly, do you put that pressure on yourself to always perform?
I feel the pressure, but it's at the same time it's no pressure to me because I manifest and I make sure since I was younger that I make sure I was going to be in the spotlight. So it feels good at the same time. It's a great pressure.
Did you think so much had come so young when you're starting off so young in the gyms?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I did. For a bit, I did it because my dad wasn't gonna let me turn pro so young. But once he gave me the green light, then I just knew everything was gonna come in play.
What was the final decision? Why did you decide to turn over so early on in your career?
Like the to me, the amateurs, I kind of felt like I had nothing more to fight for. I had international titles, and then I had national titles as well. And the Olympics, they will only allow 18-year-olds and above. And I was gonna be 20 by the time it was gonna be this year. By the time I was gonna be able to fight in the Olympics, so I mean, time would have been passed, and I would just been dominating the amateurs as well. And I just felt like it's time to step up, once again and make that transition over.
And when you did, obviously now you got the relationship with Jake Paul and MVP. Do you speak to Jake a lot? Does he give you advice? It's kind of a strange dynamic because he doesn't come from that boxing background, but yet he's got such a high profile.
Yeah, I mean, his IQ is there always. I think in general, his IQ is there, so he knows. Like I spoke to him, like whenever we see each other, we speak it, like just sort of almost everything. And when it comes down to boxing, he knows the stuff as well. So it's always a good conversation to talk with him, and he's a great advisor to me for sure. Like he's always when we see each other, we're always talking about stuff outside of boxing. Even if it's business, family, my relationships, no matter what it is. Like he has the experience. He's kind of been through a lot of it. So he's definitely a great mentor.
9 out of your 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Is it important for you to show that highlight reel to make sure that you're out there? You put that H2O stamp on every fight you have?
Yeah, it's important to me. But if not, what's even bigger, just coming out victorious in a great fashion. But I'm always wanting to put that stamp, like you said, and come out with a bang. I think that's what the fans are looking for and hoping for. So I want to give the fans what they want.
Yeah, talk to me about your opponent next Friday, Falco. How much of a threat does he pose to yourself?
Um, I know he's a little bit different from previous fights that I had. I think he's a little bit similar to the last fight, but I know he switches. And once again, like I tell a lot of people, he's ranked number 3 in Brazil, so he has that. He has a good accolade to bring to the table. So I think we both have something on the line, like the title we're fighting for. So I think his mentality will be there too. So this will be a great fight for me, and another fight to show off my skill sets.
How important is it to start picking up those titles? You got that one next week. Hopefully pick it up and just, yeah, throughout the rest of 2024, start adding more accolades to that collection.
I think it's big to me because I don't want things to get old and live off prospect of the year, or whatever the case may be. I always want to make sure that I'm fighting something, and something special is coming up. Like, once again, I'm fighting for the youth title, and I think that's going to be great for my career and moving me up in the rankings. So building accolade is definitely important, especially if I want to be a Hall of Famer one day.
Is that the plan then? Obviously, it's the plan for every fighter when they first walk into the gym, but you generally think not just the world champion, but a Hall of Fame career.
Definitely. I want to definitely be a Hall of Famer with the least amount of fights, I guess you could say. That's one of my goals.
That division, the 135 division, is so stacked. From top to bottom, you look down the top 20, 30, and it's all great fights. How far away do you think you are from those huge fights?
Oh, it's kind of tricky because like I feel like I'm close, but at the same time, it's on the other side too. They have to be able to, are willing to accept the fight. So if not, I gotta slowly make my way up and fight for guys like my next opponent. Even though which he's a great fighter, but like it's something slow progression that I have to go through if I can't get a fight offer from another guy, or if they don't accept it. So it's a tricky question to answer. But I think it's pretty close. I think in the next 2 to 3 years.
Is there any fighter, a prospect like yourself, that you know that one day you'll be fighting for a world title? You've seen them come up at the same time as you, maybe slightly older, but that gets you
Yeah.
going. That makes you really get excited to fight.
Yeah, that's another like tricky question, because at the same time, some of them I don't believe in like their skill set. Like, I think if they fight like, or if they even fight some of the guys I fight or fought, I think they will have a hard time with, and they will probably like shift their career a little bit. So it depends how they move in their career. If they think too much of themselves, then they might fall off a little bit. But if they maneuver around a few people, then we might see each other, and I might be their fall off.
Excellent. Just last one then. Yeah, what's the prediction? Next Friday night, 2nd of February, first title fight. How's it going to play out?
It's definitely going to play out with a big bang. I think the same shows H20 will give every time, but I will say under 6 rounds.
Excellent. Ashton, thank you very much for speaking to IFL TV, and best of luck next week.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.